So I'm from Do-It-Yourself Home Automation, and this is a look at how I clean up and then set up my Tangkula coop for my backyard chickens. So this is a coop. It costs about $250. I got it on Amazon. I've done some other videos about it. I'm going to show how I clean it out and set it up. So the first thing obviously is to get the chickens out of it, and they're back here scratching around, enjoying themselves in their little run. So they're nice and distracted. I've got my gloves. I'm going to put these on, and the first thing I'm going to do is actually lay out 3 of the pet pads, the dog wee-wee pads that I use underneath my coop, and I'm going to put those along in here. Okay, so I've got those laid out next to the coop. Then I'm going to put on my gloves, and I'm going to take the items that I have in the coop out of there. And first, I've got my water container here, so I'm actually going to cut. I use this little tie wrap here. I'm going to cut that to take this off, and then I'll be able to remove the water from inside of there. Okay, now I've got the bottom screens for my coop here. And I take these out, I kind of clean them off. You can see they get some of the pine shavings caked onto them sometimes. I tend to clean them fully every couple of times, but otherwise I'll just put these in the compost bin and just scrape the shavings off of there for the most part so that they're clean enough. And then again, every probably month or so, I'll actually clean them out fully with a hose, but I just lay them out in the shape of the coop, and then I'm going to lift the whole coop up. It's not too heavy, so I can just lift it up, and I'm going to place it down on top of those screens. So it'll be screens on top of the dog wee-wee pads, and then we'll go from there. Okay, you can see I've moved this over, just placed it down on top of the old pads here, and then this is sort of the chaos that that's underneath there. I didn't use the screens on top of it the last time, so they've shredded the dog pads a little bit there. So I'm going to have to go in and take all of that up, and I just basically roll this all up and then put it into a trash bag. And that's the nice thing with the dog pads, is that it keeps all of the wet shavings and feathers and everything else that chickens produce all kind of contained, and it's very easy to then take that and roll it up and put it in a big trash bag and throw it away. So that'll be my next step, is to grab all of that, kind of roll it all up, throw it away, and then I'm just going to slide the coop back into the position that it was in before. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so you can see I've cleaned most of that out, swept it out, and everything is now in this bag. And then I'm just going to slide the whole coop on top of its pads and with the screens on the bottom back into position. Okay, so that's back in position. Now I'm going to put the items back in. Okay, so you can see this is all back now. I've got the water container back in, and I'll refill that. I've got the perch back in. And then my final step is going to be to take some of the pine shavings and just fill this up with fresh pine shavings. Okay, and then you can see I've got my shavings back in. Nice fresh environment. And again, I do clean everything fully every couple of times, including the ramps and the bottoms, but this is more of an interim, every week or every 2 weeks kind of cleaning. The water is set back up again. I'll just make sure there's no shavings in the water cups, and then put in their food, and they are ready to go back in. And there we go. I've got the final setup with some happy chickens with a nice clean coop. And I do that probably every 2 weeks, and then again a full cleaning every month or so, or a little bit more often depending on how things are looking. That's how I clean out my Tangkula Large Chicken Coop. Again, I find that the pads on the bottom underneath the screens work really well. Trying to omit the screens doesn't work so well, and there they are, starting to eat their food in there. If you found this helpful in any way, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps.